what's up? Give me 1 second. I gotta turn the heater on. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. God, today's the warm day. Today's the warm day of the week. We're getting that Arctic air coming in. It's gonna be -1 soon. How you doing? We're just gonna go through some news. It's early. I don't usually live stream this early. But I figured while I was having some caffeine, we'd just go live and we'll go through the news together. Sound good? I don't really have too much of a plan. There's one thing I want to talk about. Erika Kirk has teamed up with the Chomo to go on tour. What is the tour called again? Hold on. Make Heaven Crowded. Well, we know she's got to try because her husband, her, and her guest lecturers, Pastor Greg Laurie, will not be in heaven. We know that. Erika Kirk, you ain't going to heaven. If there is a hell, you're going there. Your husband, he's there with the rest of the racists. And Pastor Greg Laurie, if you know anything about him and his time overseeing Romanian orphanages, don't worry, we'll get into it. Link in the description. He's going to hell too. So I don't know. You can go on tour and say all this shit like, well, let's make heaven crowded. But really what Jesus judges you on is your actions. You can chirp all day long. It don't matter. You see, in the Bible, Jesus wasn't about that talk. He was about that doing, you know? That's why he got upset in the Garden of, what is that called? The garden where he was praying and he started crying blood. And he was like, you fools, I asked you to pray through the night and you fell asleep. The time of the Son of Man has come. You know, and he was pissed because they were like, yeah, Jesus, we'll pray for you. You know? And Jesus was like, I need your actions to meet your words. So yeah, be careful, man. Don't give these grifters your money. But let's go through some news. First, I seen this. And whenever I see these memes, I always try to check them. By the way, oh, what's up, Troy? Oh, goddamn. Hold on. Let me let this cat out. I had the door open before. I'm not going to do this. Just go. What up, Troy? What up? Good to see you. Good to have you here. And welcome to everybody else. Oh, by the way, before we get into everything, I am Rob. Me, Rob. I do that for the Joe Rogan, the slow polio Roganites. They're ape-brain, knuckle-draggers, morons. Joe Rogan is $100 million. He has hundreds of $1 million, and he got played by Donald Trump. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have Donald Trump on. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to get him elected. Not knowing that, like, yo, he played you. You are a sucker, and he played you hard. And George Carlin, if George was alive and you had passed away, George would piss on your grave. You know, I would not. I'd rather know that I had the respect of Carlin than have hundreds of millions of dollars like Joe Rogan. For all you people that are going to go, you're just jealous. I'm not. Okay. I look at his life, his documented life, and I go, what a fucking embarrassment. His parents probably, actually, his dad hates him. Have you ever seen Joe Rogan's real dad on, I don't know what it is. I've seen clips. And Joe Rogan's real dad is like, yo, let's talk it out, man. This isn't how I raised you. You were raised wrong. And Joe's like, you didn't raise me, Dad. That's why I need to do the muscles. But anyways, I'm Rob. Me, Rob. For everybody who's waiting for Joe Rogan to do an ice bath so they could stare at his nipples. Me, Rob. You subscribe. Okay? I gotta speak in ape fucking voice for Joe Roganites. The slow polio Roganers. Don't listen to Joe Rogan. Listen to real comedy like Dan Soder, you know, Stavi Baby. There's a lot of good comics out there. Anyways, but me, Rob, you subscribe. I do a live stream every day. I'm gonna do one later. I never go this live this early. I just don't. So maybe I'm reaching out to a new audience. Maybe it's all the people waiting in Ben Shapiro's live stream chat, just waiting for him to go live. And they're like, facts don't care about your feelings. But my feelings determine the facts. If you're one of those people, go ahead, hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We're going to go through some news. We're going to call out the grifters. What's up, Michael? It's too early, Rob. Got me beat by an hour, Troy. Oh no, you've been shoveling at 4 a.m.? Oh, that storm's coming towards me. I know it. I'm not ready for it. Stay safe, stay warm, take breaks, don't overdo it. You know, that's the incredible thing about when you go out and shovel. You don't realize how much your body's overheating. And I've seen old folks, keel over. So just be careful, take breaks. And especially if it's wet snow. But it's good to see you, Troy. It's good to see you, Michael. Also, we're going to get to this day in history, which, by the way, it wasn't January 18th. That's what I was saying. I always try to double check these memes and like fact check what people are putting out there because you just never know. And it was more around January 27th that Colonel Henry Knox arrived at the American camp in Cambridge. We'll read this in a second. But just so you know, it was about 9 days post this meme saying it. But it's a fascinating story, and it's good to know your history. So I figured, oh, what's up, Lady Wiser? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hold on, Michael says, just ice here, not the bigoted kind. Sean, I don't believe my feelings dictate facts, but God damn it, if Ben Shapiro hasn't admitted that on multiple podcasts, he says this. He says you start with what you believe in, and then you find evidence to back up what you feel. I feel bad for you if you're a Ben Shapiro head. What would you call him? A Shapino head? A Pino head. If you're a Pino head, and you love Ben Shapiro and you've never like dug deep into his catalog or seen people interview him, he admits that. He goes, well, I start with my religion, he's Jewish, and he's like, and what I believe in, and then I cherry pick facts to booster my feelings. This is not my take. This is Ben Shapiro. He wrote a fucking book. Ben Shapiro wrote a book on like how to defeat the libs or something. It's like, you don't have to defeat the libs. They're status quoers. They just defend the status quo. Like the liberals aren't leftists. They don't want health care for everybody. They don't care if people starve or go homeless. They defend the status quo. That's what liberals do. They're just meant there to be like this aesthetic of opposition. And it's so funny when people like Ben Shapiro, he might as well be a fucking liberal, Well, he's not. He's funded by oil frackers, in case you didn't know that. See, and this is the thing, folks. If you're on a steady diet of stupid all day, if you're listening to Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, you should at least know where they come from. You should at least understand why they're telling you what they're telling you. They have to align with big oil. That's what Ben Shapiro is funded by. He has to align with his Jewish beliefs. That's what he fucking bases his facts on, his feelings. And this is not my take, folks. I've just seen, I'm old enough to know where he started and watched him in interviews where he admits this stuff. This isn't like me making it up. You can go find it. If you guys want me to, I'll play this shit for you. I could find these clips of Ben being like, well, you start with your moral argument and then you find the facts that back it up. Like, that's what he says. But you just tune in after work and you're like, oh, what are these great facts today? And he says some bullshit. And then you're like, I'm going to go repeat that a lot. And see, I'm trying to teach you by showing you, like, when I look at memes, I like to verify. I like to go look this up because I don't know if I'm showing you just a bunch of bullshit. So I need to read this on my own. And then I find out that people put January 18th, 1776, and that's not true. It was actually January 27th. And that's an estimate because they say, where is it? They said, and this is the beautiful thing I love reading about. Here, we're going to get into this. So I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to go live later. It was just early in the morning. I was having some caffeine. I said, fuck it, I'll go live. Because I love seeing like Lady Wiser, Michael, Troy. I love seeing... Oh, why would you do that on a live? Don't do that again. Excuse yourself. I love seeing the family members, the coalition, the vanguard, the people who are fucking active in the fight against tyrants. And that's why this is important. Because as Americans, we have a duty to say, fuck you, royalty. Like that's just our duty, Like our whole fucking existence was like, no kings. And some of you bitches are like, I don't know. Let's try a king again. So it's really important. If you don't want a king, you know, I don't think monarchy is good. But some of you herbs, we used to call people herbs back in the 90s. Shit was wild back then, man. Tupac was here. Kurt was here. God damn, I miss the 90s. But you herbs thinking you want a king, an almighty daddy king, who's more like a McQueef, you know? You got to learn your history. So let's go into this. Hit subscribe. Colonel Henry Knox arrived at the American camp in Cambridge, Massachusetts on January 27th. Again, we're going to get into why that date's wrong, but it's good that people are, pushing this stuff out because these are loose dates. They come from journals and, old or historians reading old letters and journals and documents. It's really fascinating. I love history. That's where I'm like a nerd. This is the one thing I really love. Especially because like I live around this area, like I know all these places. I love fucking learning about this and then walking those hallowed grounds, being like, this is where we beat King George's fucking ice agents back the first time. We'll do it again. I get pumped up for this shit. You go down to Bunker Hill, you see the monument, you're like, that's where we kicked ICE's ass first time. They weren't called ICE, they were called Redcoats. And now they're just called Red Hats. Fuck them. Hit subscribe, hit notification bell. Okay, this marked the turning point of the siege of Boston because we were under siege here at Boston. The Redcoats had all the fucking artillery, all the artillery. That's why if you know about the Battle of Lexington, the Battle of Concord, Bunker Hill, if you know about that stuff, you understand that, what was it? Colonel William Prescott was like, don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes. The shot heard round the world. It all started here, folks. We were the first, just like Minneapolis, Minnesota, they are the spark of the second revolution, solidarity to everyone in Minnesota. But it's truly, truly, truly incredible to live in this historic area where we beat back the red ice coats the first time, the ones that were trying to impede our freedom, put the Stamp Tax Act on our tea and our stamp and all this. And we had taxation without representation, which we have again today, folks. Right now, you're being taxed to pay for fucking ICE, not even your own health care. You have no say in where your taxes go. How does that make you feel? You don't need a king to go, that's fucking dumb. Like, taxation without representation is happening now. We're living through it. Revolt, rise up, people power. They're the 1% because they're smaller than us. What is wrong with you? This is why I need to have caffeine in the morning. I usually don't go live this early. I got shit to do today. We're going to go live around 2 o'clock today. Around 2. Gma, if you watch this later, I say 2:15 because I'm always fucking late. ICE needs to fail harder. J is for genius. Not only do I like your name, but I like your comment. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hold on. Anyone who supports ICE, I ask you this: how is that Obama out deported Trump in same amount of time? Is Trump just bad at his job, or is he going after political advisors? Well, let's face it. Here's the thing. All these presidents do the same shit. They keep you from having healthcare. They reroute your taxes to the military industrial complex. And they give tax breaks to their billionaire marionette puppet string masters. We're going to get to this. Don't worry. I have ADD, so just deal with it. And sometimes I read the comments. But what Trump has done, mask off, because they usually have this facade of a mask. They're all the same person under the mask. The mask just shows different, except for Obama and Biden, different Epstein class people. But Donald Trump specifically, ICE isn't about immigration, okay? It's just not. It's completely not. Go listen to Stephen Miller talk. He's just a racist rich kid from Santa Monica. And listen to his old stuff, his high school hits, the classics, as they call them. He's just racist. So it's about like illegal, civil fines. It's about the color of your skin. And Donald Trump said, oh, we can well fund those Proud Boys that a few years back I said, stand back and stand by. This was the moment he was saying stand by for. Read in between the lines, people, especially you, MAGA. Read in between these lines. You see that? That's what I'm saying. You voted for the Proud Boys to become a domestic army to go after people of a different color. And that's it. And the worst part is there's some black folks and some brown folks. And if you've seen the videos like I've seen the videos, some of these ICE agents are like, hey, man, why don't you show me your papers? And the other guy's like, why? And he's like, you got an accent. And the other dude's like, you got a fucking accent too. What are you talking about? It's just a racist domestic army. These are popsicle stick Proud Boys. That's it. We've got the list of names. It's already been leaked. I've showed you. You can fucking save the names in case the government doesn't hold these people accountable, and we got to be the government and hold these people accountable, which we will, ICE. We have your names. We know Enrique Tarrio. You know that snitch rat bitch who led the Proud Boys? He is ICE. Okay? Now that everybody's on the same page, and we just know they're the racist boots of the Trump regime, and they're not doing anything. They're not obeying law. There was just in the news today, I was just reading this. There's memos, internal memos that were leaked that just says they could just kick in doors and go into homes. Now, if you don't know what the Fourth Amendment is, that, you know, was established circa fucking 17 something. Oh, Jesus Christ. These fucking people, they decimate your education and then you don't know your rights. And I try to I teach my children, I teach everyone I work with, I teach everybody I encounter. You need to know your rights, because if you don't, you have nowhere to stand your ground. You do not know where to stand your ground if you don't know your rights. And most Americans, this is what should be the most fucking American thing. Fuck the Pledge of Allegiance. Fuck God fucking save America, or whatever this shit says on the money. You know what's American? You get to school and in fucking kindergarten, they start teaching you the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. And every fucking year, you're learning 1 through 5 until you get to all of them. That should be mandatory schooling. And you know what? They don't teach you none of that shit. They wait till high school and maybe it's an elective. But are you kidding me? The American school system needs to be redone, and we need to have these rights because that's the other thing. ICE is kidnapping 6-year-old fucking kids. So we need to teach these children, which you should too, take it upon yourself. Teach your children their rights. My kids know the fucking police come knocking, you say, let me see a warrant. And that's it. You ain't got one? Piss the fuck off and go read the Fourth Amendment. And my children know that, and yours should too. Because when they don't, and the fucking door kicks in, and you tell them, you say, I don't consent to this search or seizure, I need a lawyer, and I'm staying quiet, I don't answer no fucking questions. I plead the fifth like Donald Trump did in the Epstein fucking files. And you teach them that, and they get a civil case, millions of dollars. Boom. Boom. Pladow. Okay? So that's what we should be teaching people, because I can see a lot of you. Oh, Dusty's here. What's up, Dusty? Yeah, Midnight Atlas, mentally ill human, get help. Yeah, the guy telling you to fucking know your rights is mentally ill. This is how you know you fucking perverts are stupid. Jesus, what are you, from Russia? Shut your hole. Hold on. Dusty, if you're not a bot, start living by your morals, not orders. Amen. I order you to learn critical thinking. Some of these people can't. I'm just going to skip. What's up, Dusty? Good to see you. I'm going to take a moment to say what's up to the family members. You can join the family too. All you got to do is hit subscribe. It's free for you. It's a little button on the algorithms of the billion trillion dollar corporations of YouTube. Let's go through some news. There's Jay for Genius. Don't even argue with these Russian bots about the Epstein files. Putin has photos of Donald Trump blowing. It doesn't matter who released them or who hid them. If you know anything about American politics, the Democrats and Republicans are best friends. You don't believe me? I know some of you stupid motherfuckers think Donald Trump's a Republican. He's not. He was raised in New York. He's a rich kid from New York. And he's been best friends with the Clintons before he ran for politics. So they're all friends together. They're not going to snitch each other out. This is why I try to constantly remind you they're the 1% for a reason. There's less of them. If we just get organized and fucking say enough, We're done being run by PDF files, you know? And if you don't believe me, look, Obama's lawyer, who's running Goldman Sachs right now, she's in the file. Like, they're all in the files. If we just named Greenland fucking, or sorry, Trump is so stupid. Here, oh, wait. We got to do the meme first. Trump is so stupid. He was calling it Iceland. But if we just named it Epstein Island, he'd tell everyone to shut up about it. You see the new IKEA democracy kit? I got to get one of these. I don't know. I was looking online trying to find this, but my God. Does this put democracy right back in the hands of the people? Let me tell you. If you don't know anything about France in the late 1700s, I think this is the French model. Oh, shit. All right, let's get back to the meme. By the way, I'm going to show you this American patriot who works at the post office flipping off ice. Love it. We're going to play that in a second. Like and subscribe. Molotov Juice Box. There we go. That's the name I could get behind. Hey, what's up, Sendo Justa? You'd become a hero the next day. Okay, so this day, 250 years ago, but not really this day, January 27th, give or take a day. And I'm going to read why it was January 27th, because it's one of my hometowns where I went. You know what? I'm not going to give you that much info. Piss off. This marked the turning point in the siege of Boston as he successfully transported 59 cannons and mortars from Fort Ticonderoga to the Continental Army. This artillery eventually forced the British to evacuate the city in March 1776. That is true. We're going to read about it. So listen, Colonel Henry Knox, who was a book salesman. This is the funniest shit. Like, listen, people, if you think all these like old ass names, old ass white crusty dudes were just like, you know, trained in military arms, they weren't. They were the Continental Army, which were like fucking Minutemen militia. They called them Minutemen militia, the UMass, the Minutemen, because they could be ready in a minute. They could drop their fucking, you know, whatever they were doing on the farm, you know, I don't know, hoeing shit. They could drop it and be ready with their arms in a minute. Now, I know some of you are thinking of those 2A freaks that like have, you know, 400 arsenals in their garages and they have YouTube videos about it, but those are cowards. You know, that's all for show. They're cowards. Where are they right now? They're nowhere. You know, they're like, I like cleaning boots. That's what I'm doing at home. Bunch of cowards, because this is the moment, you know, and you see the Black Panthers out there doing it. They ain't scared. They've been doing it for a while. But these people, Colonel Henry Knox, he was a fucking book salesman. He was a book salesman. And they were like, listen, we'll give you £1,000 if you could take over Fort Ticonderoga, get those munitions, get them cannons, and get them down to Cambridge. Because Cambridge, man, Cambridge was stripped. They were saying, don't shoot. They were saying, save your gunpowder. That's why you saw Colonel William Prescott say, don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. Because he needed to ensure, because when you were shooting a musket, the thing was like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball. It was like, you know, so if they were far away, these people were, you know, you could just stand there and be like, keep coming, keep shooting, keep trying, you missed. So in the history books, when you learn don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes, is because they were very limited on ammunitions, very limited on gunpowder, and they needed to ensure maximum carnage. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about venom. And we did. That's how I'm sitting here today. Because my grandparents, and maybe some of yours, I've done my DNA history, so I know who the fuck I come from, did that so you guys could be here. I have Revolutionary War gravestones. Maybe I'll take some pictures to show you of my family who fought against these fucking tyrants. But they did that so we wouldn't ever have a king again, so we wouldn't be taxed without representation. There's a lot of different reasons. But the important part is these were normal people. Henry Knox was a bookseller. He sold books and was recruited for this very important duty to save Boston, which he did. Now, the reason I know the date is different than that is because he reached the vicinity of Clavernack, New York on January 9th and proceeded through the Berkshires, reaching Blanchford, Massachusetts 2 days later. And remember, this is, again, January in New England and New York. Not friendly times. Going to be -1 tomorrow or the next day. Snow everywhere, sleet, ice, rain. And these dudes were charged with, not loading up the U-Haul, but loading up the fucking stallions and dragging cannons through the snow. And this dude was a bookseller, but he heard the call and he answered. Amazing. Amazing. So, Knox loaded one of the big guns with powder and fired it to the applause of an assembled crowd in Westfield, Massachusetts. Shout out to Westfield, all my people out there. Okay, at Springfield, Knox had to hire new work crews as his New York-based crews wanted to return home. I understand it. John Adams reported seeing, and this is where historians are very crucial and important, because they dig through the paperwork of the times that we've preserved to find out the dates, who witnessed what, when, where they were at these times. It's so fascinating. John Adams reported seeing the artillery train pass through Framingham on January 25th. So they weren't at Cambridge on January 18th. Because if you're in Framingham and you're not driving, and you're in Framingham on January 25th, sorry, you ain't in Cambridge on the 18th. But it says, and Knox arrived at Cambridge 2 days later. So that places him around January 27th and personally reported to Washington that they had arrived. According to Knox's account, he spent 521 pounds out of the 1,000 he was allotted to do this. And on an operation that he hoped would take 2 weeks. Listen to this. He thought he could get from Fort Ticonderoga, upstate New York, to Cambridge in 2 weeks through the New England snow, freezing rain, and all that shit we have to deal with. But it actually took 10 weeks. 10 weeks. 2.5 months of dragging artillery cannons on horses and work crews and hiring people. And some of the images, the drawings and the paintings are gnarly. Snow-covered cannons being drawn by horse. It's really incredible. I should have taken some of them, but you can look this stuff up. You have the internet. When I was growing up, we had a library. Okay, libraries are important. Don't get rid of them. This shit's important. And I show you this. We're not going to read about Savannah, Georgia. We're not. But I show you this because I want you to remember Colonel Henry Knox sold books. He was in a bookstore, probably smoking a pipe, enjoying himself, have a good time. And Washington was like, bitch, stop, get your nose out them books. We're doing revolution. Loose quote. And he answered the call, and he brought the cannons, and they beat the shit out of the hold on. Let's read a little bit about the arrival, okay? I love the illustration of the evacuation of British troops. I can't wait till the evacuation of the maggot Epstein troops. That's what we're going to call ICE from now on. The Epstein troops. The Epstein army. That's what we should call them. The Epstein army. Spread the word. Take it to the internet. Oh, God. You don't understand the comparison to everyday people because everyday people in Minnesota are shop owners, are business people that have no training, that have just answered America's call of unity against a tyrant. If I have to spell this out, you might be too stupid for this live stream. Those aren't my feelings. It's just the facts. If you can't see that I'm saying Colonel Henry Knox was just a storekeep. He just kept books. He was a reader, probably an introvert. And then they were like, guys, we probably got to take over Ticonderoga. Fuck it, if we can, we need them cannons out in Cambridge because Cambridge it's an onslaught. Ship after ship of the Royal Army is coming in. And we're not going to do it. That's why I've broken this down like this. And if you can't follow along, if you can't read in between the lines, this might not be for you. It's not for everyone. Okay? Okay. Here we go, Madhouse. What am I yapping about? Nothing. Keep quiet. Listen, here's another thing. I just need to take a moment to say, stop talking about Immigration Act. Stop talking about illegal people. Stop.
ICE is not about that. You need to understand this is not about legality. Donald Trump does not care about laws. If he did, he'd release the Epstein files. He don't care about laws. So stop pretending like you have some moral high ground here. ICE is not about fucking the laws or legality. They are violating your constitutional rights. They're arresting Americans. This has nothing to do with anything besides what color skin do you have, what accent do you have, and we're going to disappear you. Donald Trump does not care about the laws. I know you guys were the Law and Order crew, but that has poof disappeared. You don't want to know why? Want to know why? Want to know why? Because you don't follow no fucking laws. So shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. I do not want to see any MAGA. In fact, Dusty, thank you. Yep, Dusty, if you're here, any of these maggots, MAGATS, start chirping about, oh, laws, or you don't know about this act. Shut the fuck up. None of those acts supersede your fucking rights, okay? I don't care about no immigration act. That doesn't give them the right to kick in a fucking door, okay? And come into your home with no fucking warrant because they're using some Stephen Miller baby Goebbels fucking warrant. Get the fuck out of here. They don't have a judge's warrant and they're violating your constitutional rights. So just shut up. Just shut up and be obedient, okay? Shut up. If you believe in any maggot, MAGATS, any of the Epstein defenders, if you want to talk about laws, the only thing I'll find acceptable in these live streams is if you maggots start saying, I need my president to follow the Epstein Transparency Act law first, and then we'll address immigration. That's what you should be saying if you want to play the law game. But I don't listen to fucking stupid dummies chirping about, oh, well, you don't know about the 1964. Shut the fuck up. This has nothing to do with any of that. Did the 1964 Immigration Act say that the Constitution is null and void? Shut the fuck up. Do you understand me? Thank you, Dusty, for making them shut the fuck up. And go ahead and make them all shut the fuck up. Because this isn't about laws, you dummy. And I'm so sick of like the mainstream media and Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool pretending they care about laws. They don't. They care about power. And that's it. Money and power. Money, power, greed, respect. Wasn't that a Locks song? Little Kim and the Locks? First you get the money. Remember that? Remember them 90s jams? Somebody knows. Somebody knows. Let's go, ICE. Delete this motherfucker. Shut up, you racist bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you see me crying? I'm starting a revolution. We'll remember you. What's your name? Willer Bean? We'll remember you when you try to flee to Argentina and go under William. You cowards. You bunch of cowards. That's what you are. You understand me? You're a bunch of cowards. You cried for 4 years because your president didn't get to be a president again. Not my president. Let's go, Brandon. You guys are bitches. You don't even exercise your First Amendment right. I do. Ready? Fuck you, Donald Trump. Epstein protector. That's the First Amendment right there. Now let's read what happened in Cambridge. Are you guys excited? I love reading in the morning. It's my favorite thing to do. That's why when people are like, get a job, I'm like, fuck you. I'd rather read all morning. Get a job. I love these bootlickers worshiping fucking corporate jobs and shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'd rather spend all day reading about the arrival of Colonel Henry Knox to Cambridge to set up cannons and blast these tyrants out of the water. They evacuated. You understand that? The Royal fucking Armada, or whatever they called it, was like one of the biggest at the time. They had all the boats. All the boats. And us little pipsqueaks in Boston were like, we got some fucking cannons and a reserve of gunpowder, and we chased them home with their tail between their legs, those redcoats. And I teach you this history because we can do it again. We can. And we will. Notice to all tyrants and tyrant red hats. We will chase you the fuck out of America. No taxation without representation, and you're taxing us to pay for ICE. You don't believe me? Look at this meme I found. I love this one. Okay, let's read. Let's do some reading. Anybody else like to read? Put a thumbs up in the thing if you like to read. All right, the arrival. Washington wanted to end the siege because we were being sieged upon. The British were sieging us. And some of you are letting Donald Trump siege you. A siege is what's happening with ICE right now. They're sieging cities. They're sending troops. They're getting the military ready. They're kicking in doors, violating your Fourth Amendment fucking rights.
So Washington wanted to end the siege. He formulated a plan to draw at least some of the British out of Boston once the equipment began to arrive, at which point he would launch an attack on the city across the Charles River. He placed cannons from Ticonderoga at Lechmere's Point and Cobble Hill in Cambridge, and on Lamb's Dam in Roxbury. These batteries opened fire on Boston on the night of March 2nd, 1776, while preparations were made to fortify the Dorchester Heights, from which cannons could threaten both the city and the British fleet in the harbor. Oh, it was a British fleet. That's what you call it. Continental Army troops occupied this high ground on the night of March 4th. I bet that was a chilly night, and all you heard was kaboom! British General bitch-made William Howe first planned to contest this move by assaulting the position, but a snowstorm prevented it. God was on our side. God said, let me sprinkle some snow. I told you it was a quiet night. After further consideration, he decided to instead to withdraw from the city. On March 17th, St. Paddy's Day, British troops and loyalist colonists boarded ships and sailed for Halifax, Nova Scotia. Henry Knox became the chief artillery officer of the Continental Army and later served the United States Secretary of War. Yeah, man, he went from a bookstore owner to Secretary of War. Damn. Oh, so the Commonwealth, that's us in Massachusetts, we placed historical markers along the route that Knox believed to have taken. In 1972, some markers were moved in New York after new information surfaced about the train's movement between Albany and the state boundary. Given the lack of documentation for the Massachusetts portion of the journey, most of the markers were placed along that route that the train assumed to have taken based on what's known about Massachusetts roads of the time. And that's the cool stuff. If you ever come to Massachusetts, you can see this shit around everywhere. There's historical things to remind you that democracy isn't a place, it's something you do. Democracy is not a place, it's something you do. That's from the great Abby Hoffman. Let me see if I can get that clip real quick. It's got to be on YouTube, right? Hold on. Abby Hoffman, democracy. Oh man, he's got a lot of speeches. Isn't a place. Oh my God, I love Abby Hoffman so much. This is Worcester's own Abby Hoffman, political activist, hippie, yippie, and Pentagon levitator.
I think if people stay in the park, and play the role of the good niggers, they'll be okay. They'll be treated with respect by the police. In fact, they'll be held up as models of the ideal protesters. Those people that, those yippies that march on the amphitheater or go downtown or sit in restaurants or demand their rights, they'll be risking their life. That's right. These cops here are tough. They'd kill you with a smile. Shoot to kill daily, And it's difficult. I mean, some people want to go this way, some people want to go this way, and they say that those people are interfering with their thing, but somehow it works out. I mean, everybody is allowed to do their thing. If some people storm the amphitheater, they storm the amphitheater. Some people want to swim naked in the lake, they swim naked in the lake. Other people want to smoke dope. Other people want to go and tell the cops what we're doing. That's good. The cops want to come down and beat our heads. That's it. I mean, it's all conceived as a total theater, with everyone becoming an actor.
Hold on. Here's not. Here, this is an important thing.
What?
Would you have taken $100,000 to call everything off?
I would have taken $100,000 as to calling it off. Well,
How much is it worth to you to call it off?
call off
A
what?
million? Would you have done it for $1 million?
Revolution?
Yeah. What's your price?
My life.
Did you hear that? That's a real fucking patriot. Abby Hoffman says to a reporter who's asking him, what would it take for you? $100,000 to call this off? $1 million? And he says, to call what off? The revolution? And he goes, yeah. What's your price? And Abby Hoffman says, my life. It's like these people.
I'll find the clip later. I'm not going to dig through hours of archives of Abby Hoffman right now. I really want to play, where is it? I want to play a couple clips. This is
Somebody out in Minnesota. I played the audio of him the other day. He got detained by ICE. He's a white guy, U.S. citizen, okay? White guy. I have to spell it out this stupidly for people. And ICE detained him for no reason, you know, violating his rights. I can't wait till we hold all these Proud Boy popsicle sticks accountable. But this is William Kelly speaking in, I don't know if he's in Minnesota. I don't see snow on the ground, so I don't know if he's in Minnesota right now. I know he was, but let's play this.
ICE is the complete opposite of Christianity. You cannot be an ICE agent and be a pastor. My name is William Kelly. I'm a combat infantry veteran. I'm a patriot. I'm a defender of human dignity. But we went in there and we preached the words of Jesus at them. Jesus said to love thy neighbor. Jesus said to welcome aliens from faraway places. But we're terrorists? They're calling me a professional agitator now? Well, yes, I am. I am an agitator because people need to be agitated. What they're doing in this nation is unconstitutional. It is inhumane. It is treason. It is disgusting. That is a white supremacist church. As long as that pastor is allowed to preach there, it is a hateful church. Those are not Christians. Those are evil people if they support that.
And I, as an ordained reverend, support that statement. You can't be ICE and a pastor. Those are conflicting things. ICE are racist pieces of shit, traitors to America, and Proud Boys. And pastors are supposed to tell you about the words of Jesus, to love your neighbor unselfishly, to welcome the stranger, to feed the people in prison, to clothe the people that need it, to, when your enemy asks for something, if they say walk 1 mile with me, you're supposed to walk 2. So if you're like, I don't know what church, maybe it's his own church, but fire that fucker. Fire him. Speaking of pastors, let's get to some news. Dusty, we are for the files being released. Oh, I can't believe I got to say this. Yeah, we want to know all about what Donald Trump did to Sasha Riley in those files. Remember the ones Pam Blondie was like, they don't exist. But the week before, she was like, I have hundreds of thousands of videos of these perverts. And then it turned out it was probably mostly Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. And then she's like, they don't exist. And you maggots were like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Guess that makes sense. Yep. Everything I've been fed for the past 5 years. Just out the window. I won't think anything about it, sir. Go ahead and invade everywhere, including America. Go ahead and tread on me. Oh my God. I want to play this audio for you. This audio is awesome. So this is out in Minnesota, and a post office worker is driving by ICE doing an unconstitutional stop again, a racist stop. Okay. The Epstein Army. I forgot. We're calling them the Epstein Army. The Epstein Army is in a car right here, and this is the post office worker. I'm going to play the audio for you. These are the Patriots, right? Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Go home, you fucking losers!
You hear him? He goes, go home, you fucking losers. See, everyday people, working people can always make a difference. You can always, if you feel, delusioned by what's going on, and you see some shit like this, you don't even got to stop. You just drive by, flip them off, and say, go home, you fucking losers, and you take a shot at their morale. Dig deep down inside of you and make sure they know that everybody hates them, because everybody does. I know there's some Russian bots in here that are, like, no, we like it. It's like, of course you do, because Putin tells you what to fucking do. Just like maggots just listen to Donald Trump. They don't do anything else. They have zero fucking thoughts of their own. That's why they watch Fox News to be told which M&M is going to turn their cat gay. Like, just shut up. You have no fucking critical thinking skills. These are the Patriots, the people that can Say, go home, you losers, to the tyrannical Epstein army. Remember, we're calling ICE, who's right here, out of frame, the Epstein army.
Go home, you fucking loser!
United States Postal Service.
Fucking hero. And I love the guy filming going, United States Postal Service. Oh, did those words make your feelings hurt? Oh, I'm sorry. Here in America, are we supposed to just do what you say? Oh, you don't like that? What if we said, let's go Brandon? Is that nicer for you? Is that church language, you fucking tools? Shut up. Shut up. Did you guys hear, just to like, embarrass this Chief Queef a little more? Did you guys hear Donald Trump continually call Greenland Iceland? Like, anybody that complained about Joe Biden being old, just shut your mouth. You elected the oldest president ever to America who has ADH dementia and can't even remember Greenland or Iceland. Listen to this.
Doing it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland.
What did he say about Iceland? Can anybody tell me if Donald Trump's been talking about Iceland? Because he hasn't. He means Greenland because he's a fucking dummy because his dad paid everybody off to help him graduate because he cheated on everything. Because the dude is such a lazy Nepo baby, just inherited all this wealth from his dad. And that's why you see, like, he bankrupted casinos. Casinos. The money-making machine. The thing that's rigged to take your money. Let me say it for the younger generation. Poly Market? How, like, you could bet on anything and most of the time you're going to lose. Donald Trump couldn't even run 3 of those without failing. But not to mention his airline company, state company, charity, university, water company. He couldn't even sell water. He couldn't even sell. Donald Trump he didn't write his book either. Just so you know, The Art of the Deal was written by a ghostwriter. You think that guy writes or reads? Please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Donald Trump, just so you know, in the 90s, he used to sell Trump water. And I don't know if you know this about humans. Our body's made up of water and we have to drink it or we die. And Donald Trump couldn't sell water to humans. Imagine that, starting a water company, selling it to a species that lives off of water and failing. Holy shit, what an embarrassment. Okay, let's listen to, I'll restart it. Let's listen to this everybody needs a trophy president. Holy crap.
Doing it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Told him about Iceland. He's so fucking dumb. And the best part is he's doing it on the world stage. Like, he's a peacock of stupidity. He's like a big peacock who goes out and puts out his plumage, his whole feathers, and he's just like, look at how dumb I am, strutting around. Look at how stupid I am. What are we invading Iceland to now? They don't have the rare minerals that your puppet masters need, buddy.
They called me daddy, right?
That's what he's talking about, you MAGA. You call him daddy because you got daddy issues.
Time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy.
No smart man would ever say that. Remember, Donald Trump said, smart people don't like me? Does anybody remember that? If you don't, hold on. If you don't remember, hold on. Let me remind you.
Smart people don't like me.
Oh, thank you. So let's go back to this.
Very smart man said, he's our daddy.
No, that's not true. Smart people don't like you. Your own words.
He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being.
No, you've always been a terrible human being. And I can't believe he has a captive audience. I bet the smell is just permeating off him. If you don't know, somebody who's in the room with Donald Trump reported on social media that he smells like rotten roast beef. And my first question was, how does that guy know what rotten roast beef smells like? It's a weird reference, but who am I to judge, Teach their own. Look at this photo. How funny is this one? Everybody's up chatting, and he probably pooped his pants and he's sitting alone and everyone's like, what's that? Look, this guy's like, I can smell something. And he's like, oh yeah, it's that orange turd over there. And I don't mean what's in his pants. Did you guys see, speaking of this sad, sad man whose wife hates him, whose Slovenian immigrant wife who came here on an EB1 visa, which means Epstein's buddy number one. That's what Melania came on. Look it up. It's an EB1 visa. It stands for Epstein's best friend number one. She's got a new movie coming out, and I support street art. So always, always, always create street art, folks. Street art is very American and it's anti-capitalist and it always has a good message. So, you know, I don't see any lies on this poster. Do you? Do you see any lies on this poster? Let me guess, is MAGA going to get really upset? Is the Christian right going to get upset? Don't worry, they don't have any morals anyways. They use Jesus as like a battering ram. They're not Christians. I'm an ordained reverend. I'm well versed in the Bible. So I know you frauds. You can't trick me. I've read Jesus's words. So no lysine, no lysine. That's right. Thank you, Dusty. Like and subscribe. Free all the oppressed people. Free them all, free them all. Hit like and subscribe, except for you sensitive, needing a safe space conservatives. You know, the ones who claim conservative values. And then I'm like, what are your conservative values? This lady's husband, is that your conservative values? He cheated on all his wife. He cheated on her with a porn star, Stormy Daniels, and then lied and covered up and got 34 felonies. Is that conservative values? What does it feel to live the life of a lie? It's got to be hard. The sunken fallacies are real with those ones. They're like, I've committed to it. I got to keep pretending. Every day I wake up and can't look at myself in the mirror. You know what? You know, MAGA always is like, why don't you leave this country? I'm going to start telling them, why don't you go to the UK? Why don't you go where they have a monarchy? You could go kiss the royal butthole or whatever they do there. I don't know. Do they kiss the royal jewels? You know, why don't you go to the UK where they have a king? They have a king already. You could just immigrate there. Say, I renounce my American citizenship and say, I really want to be under a monarch and see if they'll take you, you know? We don't want a king, and we've never wanted a king, especially a king that does this. You understand? You understand me? Do you comprehend me? My postal service rep can't accept, speaking of postal service, my postal service rep can't accept gifts over $20, but okay. Trump and his family have accumulated over $1.8 billion in cash and gifts since he was reelected. Remember I told you about the inauguration and that plastic Play-Doh looking motherfucker next to her nerd-ass husband and Google CEO and your grifter who's stealing all your taxes and your social security data and selling it. He's selling your data that he stole in Doge. That's why you're not getting a Doge $5,000 dividends check, because it was all a lie and you're going to have to die to find out. We all die. And I'm hoping that at least when you die, you'll be like, ah, shit, it was all a lie, you know? And then you'll have to weigh your soul against the feather and your soul's going to go and smash the ground and Jesus is going to go, get the fuck out. That's my version of heaven, telling maggots to go to hell. Facts over feelings, bro. You don't believe in facts. Let me assess. You're a Ben Shapiro watcher, except you don't know Ben Shapiro has like written books and done many interviews where he says, I start with my Jewish morality and I build a case from there. What he's saying is he starts with his feelings, and then he cherry picks the facts he needs to make the case. Stop poisoning your brain, okay? You're watching brain rot if you watch Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro or Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn. I wouldn't watch Theo Vaughn unless I was trying to get stupider. Because he's good. You know, if you just want to know nothing and float by in life, Theo Vaughn is A-okay. I don't think he's a comic, but for lowering your IQ, it's probably a good resource. Don't read anything, don't try to learn anything, and just agree with what everyone says. How did these people get famous? I guess stupidity rises to the top now. There is a huge anti-intellectual movement going on. That's why in America, when the president was like, we're going to fucking get rid of the Department of Education, these people that have like a 4th grade reading level were like, hurrah, those books are evil. They don't need to know anything. I can't believe that. The irony of them wanting to make America great and at the same time make America as stupid as it can be is like, it's sad hilarious. You know what I'm saying? It's like sad, but it's fucking hilarious. Because the people who need that Department of Education are the ones that are like, it won't happen to me. It's like, oh, you know nothing. You know nothing, dum-dum. I can't believe, listen, what is his name? JS Adventures. Guys, here's the thing. You still have a little bit of freedoms. Stop commenting like, this is so sad. I can't believe I'm watching this. It's not sad for me. I have 10,000 subscribers. I'm doing quite well. I love YouTube. I love this community and I love speaking to people. It's sad for you that you're proving that you have nothing going on in your life, that you're watching something that you can't even tolerate. Like, I would never sit, let me just break this down, because I love these comments, because these people think they're like dunking on me and they don't understand. They're telling me about themselves. You're explaining to me what a pathetic fucking life you live. Because if I was sitting watching TV, which I don't have TV, but, you know, if I put a movie on and I was like, God, what a sad fucking, I hate this movie. It's like, that was my choice. I should have put on a movie I liked. So the fact that you're bitching in my comments, helping boost my channel, thank you, by the way, but I silenced you, so you can't talk anymore. Hopefully that will encourage you to leave. This is where I got to show people what a spine looks like. I won't go on YouTube and watch something and be like, God damn it, I hate this so much. I'm just going to keep watching. I don't do that, okay? You understand? Have a spine. Go find something you like. I don't know. What are you into? My Little Pony? I don't give a shit. Go watch it. Don't be scared to be yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Because America, meaning the land of the free, you should be free to express yourself, right? So go do it. Go to Ben Shapiro and he'll reaffirm your racist, fear-mongering ways. And you'll be like, yeah, that's right. We got to follow the law, while avoiding the fact that Donald Trump has not followed the law once. He just gave you that to glom onto so you could say that again and have people like Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool be like, that's right, we care about the laws. Really? Do you care about the Epstein transparency fact? Do you care about 34 felonies? Do you care about all the corruption, the fucking lies that he does? Do you care about him ignoring federal court orders? Do you care about any of that? Or what laws do you care about? Or are you just picky and choosy, you little bitch? But I would never waste my time doing something I hated. Grow a spine, Jay's Adventures. God, with a name like Jay's Adventures, you'd think he'd fucking, be adventurous. You can't be adventurous with no spine. What is your adventure? Sitting on the couch watching things you hate? Nobody live life like that, dude. Oh my God. These people are so funny. They don't move on. I wish they did. Here's the thing to the guy commenting me, then they move on. They don't. They come back every day. You know how I know? Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm here every weekday, guys. I see you all the time. There are people that just come in here to tell me how much they hate this. What a lame. Trump 2028. It's like, yeah, we're going to have an 85-year-old president who can't talk or walk and just shits his pants and moans. Fucking, these people are so dumb. MAGA, you are the most pathetic fucking group of people I've ever fucking seen. It's so funny. You're like, yeah, my hero is a guy who smells like rotten roast beef. I want him to be president at 95 years old, and we're going to celebrate his Smucker's birthday when he turns 100 and he's king of the world. Jesus, just go to England. They have a king there, you freaks. They have kings in England. They have one. William, you ever seen his hands? They're gross, gross. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. He's got some inbred disease. You guys are the worst. Thank you, Dusty. Shut them all up. Shut them all up. Shut them all up. MAGA, you can't take the free speech I have. You need a safe space? Go to Tim Pool. Is he not live yet? Go watch an old Joe Rogan sitting in the ice bath so you could stare at his nipples while yelling no homo because it makes you feel secure as a man. You guys are such pathetic little fucking dweebs. Shut up. Yeah, imagine calling a pathetic man that shits himself daddy. This is one of the funniest things because there's multiple things where Donald Trump is just a moronic liar. And don't forget. But here he is on stage, right?
And let's play it again.
Remember, when he says Iceland, he hasn't talked about Iceland. He's so stupid, he forgot it's Greenland. It's like they don't even sound the same. Ice and green, fucking polar opposites. Oh my God, he's such a moron. And then, before I play this clip again of Donald Trump, I need to remind you what he said about smart people, okay? I need to remind you in case you forgot. Hold on.
Smart people don't like me.
Okay, now that we know smart people don't like him and he means Greenland instead of Iceland, let's listen to your daddy king. I'd call him everybody wants a trophy president, you know, because he throws tantrums to have trophies.
And I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland.
You mean
they
Greenland?
loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last
Nobody
time.
did.
Very smart man.
Maybe you forced those Epstein youths to call you daddy, but no adult calls you daddy. And MAGA, just shut up. I know you guys do, but you know, I'm talking about real adults with spines. Shut your hole.
Said he's our daddy. He's called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said he's our daddy.
No, smart people hate you. Smart people don't like you. You said that, not me. You said that. So, what else? Oh, did you guys see this? This is how we're going to take the power back too. This is why, like, you know, locals get involved in local politics. When people tell you not to talk politics or to stay out of politics, what they're telling you is they want to assert their power over you. They want their opinions, their politics to overrun what you feel. So always stay involved, always know what's going on. Just like in Massachusetts, last year we had on the ballot, not last year, 2 years ago now, we had on the ballot to legalize psilocybin. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. Because it's been proven to be a PTSD medication, ancient medicine, and can help people. And of course, I was trying to push for it, but so many people are still uneducated about this stuff that it did not happen. But I was aware of it, so you can start pushing for these things. And these are important things. This is what dictates everything in our life. Politics is the reason you have a weekend, the reason you work when you do, the reason you drive how fast you drive, the reason you cross the street where you cross the street. Politics is fucking everything. It's why they can chlorinate your chicken, because of politics. When you guys are like, oh, I don't want regulations. Okay, what you're saying is Jeff Bezos can poison all the air and water around you with nobody to step in, because what are you going to do? Understand what politics are. So now we go to Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Craster. He says he's not going to mess around with ICE. Quote, we will arrest you. We will put handcuffs on you. We will close those cuffs. We will put you in a cell. We will do everything in our power to convict you. And we will make sure you serve your entire sentence, because Donald Trump has no power whatsoever to pardon you. He can only pardon federal crimes, not state. So states, take note. Start locking up these popsicle stick Proud Boys. Put them all in prison. Put them all in prison. They're all going to prison anyways. Oh, I didn't have the other meme. You got to see who Donald Trump is pardoning. He's pardoning the worst of the worst. Scumbags. Absolute scumbags. Okay, we have to get into this because this is the one thing I wanted to talk about. I was reading about this. So, turning point, you know, Charlie Clan, he lost the gun debate by a long shot. That was a fake laugh, but I just wanted to do it for effect. Okay, MAGA, calm down. I know you're always like, oh, fake laugh. I know you have no joy in your life because you're petulant little fucking tyrannical toddlers, but some of us still do enjoy the little things, like the hypocrisy of these make heaven crowded toward people. This is not a gospel-centered gathering. This is a gathering of criminals. Understand me. This is criminals. You don't believe me? Well, let's look up the top guest speaker, Pastor Greg Laurie. Bing! I go to Ministry Watch. You got to keep an eye on these people, you know? You got to keep an eye on these people. What does that say? Can anybody read? More lawsuits filed against Greg Laurie and Harvest Christian Fellowship for abuse in Romanian orphanages. Well, I wouldn't want him speaking on my thing while these charges lingered over his head. Let's read about the charges. This is where I can't read, so hopefully you can. Don't worry, link in the description. But I would just like to point to right here. I can't read this on YouTube. You can. This is who Charlie Clan's wife, who hooked up with so many people before he did. You know, she lied. She was like, oh, I didn't date anyone. Shut up, you whore. You were on a dating show. Didn't date anyone. You were on a dating show. Guys, the internet records it all. God, these people are morons. And their followers are even dumber. But if you're going to go to this Make Heaven Crowded, I'm pretty sure it should be redubbed Make Hell Even More Crowded, because I would not, listen, just as like a rule of thumb, I'm Rob, I'm your vibe coach on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join me every weekday as I comment on news. And I try to entertain. And sometimes we do like history lessons, like earlier, you know. I read about the founding of this country and how a bookshop owner became the Secretary of War. Look him up, Henry Knox. I, as a rule of thumb, you know, just as a rule of thumb, don't work or associate with Chomos. Just a crazy rule of thumb. And Erika Kirk clan, Erika clan, right there, hired this guy who has these charges to speak about making heaven crowded again. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? People, if you're spending your money on this shit, you should just burn it, you know? It'd be better. It'd be better for your communities. I can't believe it, man. We are run by the Epstein class. The Epstein class, these people are just the worst of the worst. And this is also why, like, when MAGA comes in and they talk about the rule of law or illegality, it's like, darling, shut your fucking stupid little trap. Shut your sauce box, okay? Okay? You don't believe in any of that. Because if you did, you would be very outspoken against this shit. You would be. You'd be like, oh, no, not in my neighborhood. Don't bring that dude on tour. The last thing you need is a guy who is abusing Romanian orphanage people going on tour in America. You know what I mean? I would just say, let the chips land where they may, and then let's see about a tour. Well, oh no, Erika Clan was like, let's get this guy out on tour. Okay. Vincent, shut the fuck up. Come in here and talk to me like that, you fucking nerd. No disrespect to nerds. Sorry, you spineless swine. There we go. Release the files, 100%. I'm widowed and Erika with 3 Ks. That's how I spell it too. I'm so glad you spell it like that too. Definitely hated her husband. Definitely. I mean, listen, well, you're widowed and I've lost very close family members too. For that year to maybe 2, sometimes 3 years, your world is rocked, right? And Erika Clan, Erika with 3 Ks, is out here throwing pyrotechnic shows, going on tour. Like, where are her kids? Her kids, I feel so bad for her kids. Not only because she's hanging around Greg Laurie, who's accused of, you know, abusing Romanian orphanage children, but, like, I feel bad for her kids because when you lose your dad, as someone who has when I was very young, like, you really lean on your mom. You know, I remember telling my mom, and she died shortly after, I was like, please don't die. I was like, please don't die. I don't know if I can emotionally handle it. You know, when my dad left this earth, I immediately was like, Mom, please don't fucking die. Please. I was like, I don't know, my ground is shook right now. I need some stability. I need you in my life. And Erika with 3K's clan went through that same thing, and she was the mom. And what has she done? She's on tour. You see her with Barry Wise. She's doing another tour. She is fucking a bad parent. She's not fucking a bad parent. She's a bad, horrible parent. Horrible. I would never listen to that woman in my life. My God, grow the fuck up, Erika, and be there for your children. You're a bad parent. Melania too, only because who her husband is. And she's just, be best. What kind of slop is that? Did AI generate that for her? My God. Remember common sense, Christian. Outnumber you by far. We are not loud like you until you keep pushing. I'm a Christian. I'm an ordained reverend. What are you fucking talking about? You're not loud. The Christian right isn't loud. Are you fucking stupid? Jesus, why do people come in here and show me how dumb they are? Guys, stop it. I understand you're stupid. I don't need you to confirm it for me. Like, this isn't a thing you need to confirm. I understand how fucking dumb you are. Like, I get it. I get it. You're morons. I get it. Shut up. Jesus. Not you, buddy? Okay. Sorry. Then, you know what? Let me take a moment. Hold on. Pause. I didn't know I thought you were talking to me. Let me say this. I'm very sorry. I read that wrong, and I made a mistake, and I hope you will forgive me. See, that's how you do it, folks. It doesn't take much. I'm not less of a person because I admitted I was wrong, and I had to apologize. That's okay. You can do that shit. Let that be a lesson for a lot of you. It's okay to apologize, and it's okay to be like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Usually the chat is stacked with these fucking morons coming in here showing me how dumb they are. So I'm sorry. You were talking to somebody else. I'm so sorry. You conservative Christians are so loud. They're so loud in the most hypocritical way, Dusty. That's what bugs me. Because they're like, everybody needs to believe in Jesus. And I'm like, which Jesus are you talking about? Because the one in the Bible is not what you stand for. Is Jesus the name of like your billy club? Like, what are you talking about? I know people will name like weapons and stuff, but like, are you calling your weapons Jesus? Because I've read the red. R-E-A-D, the R-E-D. Because in the Bible, usually Jesus's words are in red. So I've read the red, and I know what he said. He didn't go like, hey, let me see who worked 40 hours a week before I break out this fish and loaves of bread. He didn't go, can I see what insurance card you have, homeless man who's lame? Hey, blind guy, do you have your copay with you? He didn't say any of that shit. So you guys are all fucking frauds, okay? American Christianity is a fraudulent fucking organization, and the Roman Catholics just fucking co-opted Christianity to exercise their power. And I know that firsthand because I was in church when they were speaking Latin. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to understand any of that? I don't understand Jesus. Did he speak Latin? Oh, he didn't? Aramaic? What the fuck? What is this? It's just oppression. And you know what? Through all of it, I came to know Jesus and love him. And he's my savior. And he sent me on a mission to call you fucking frauds out and love everybody, except for the oppressor. Jesus was killed by the state. He didn't like the oppressors either. He's anti-establishment, started a revolution. It's still going to this day with, some people that say you should just welcome the stranger. Feed the hungry. Love your enemy. And I'm trying. I am trying. I'm trying to love some of you guys, but some of you guys are too stupid, I didn't get to see Jesus with the dummies. They cut that part out of the Bible. And I tried reading the Urantia and the books of Enoch, and I'm trying to figure it out because at some point Jesus had to meet a Magadodo, And he must have just tapped him on the head and been like, oh, bless your heart, you're going to hell. Stop using my name. In fact, maybe the Magadodos were the ones when he was saying, some of you will come to me saying, I know you. And he will say, get back from me, Satan. So maybe he did address MAGA in the Bible. I just wasn't reading hard enough. In fact, I got to go read my Bible today. Let's go live a little bit later. Does that sound good? Zinali's here. Superstitious lives matter. That is the truth. As a former superstitionist. Shut them all up, Dusty. You're doing God's work. Generally, I like that everybody's using the name Jen the J in different forms. I really like it. Even though you told me to take my meds. Is that like, this is the funniest thing about these commenters. They're like, take your meds, you're a loser. Like, they don't address anything. You know what I mean? Like, they don't address anything. They just say, like, oh, he should take his meds. They don't address anything. You know, they don't talk about how our healthcare sucks, how our life expectancy is declining, even though we pay more than the rest of the world. They don't talk about how our taxes were taken from healthcare subsidies to pay for the Proud Boys to be a domestic army for Donald Trump. They don't address any of that shit. They just go, take your meds. It's like, what pathetic fucking losers are you? Get off the internet and go be obedient somewhere. Smoke and mirrors all day. That's all it is. Wordplay is fun, Jen. You're correct. You're correct. Even though most of your takes in life, and you're probably like a man from Russia, are wrong, wordplay is fun. We can agree. We can have a baseline there. The rest of it, you know, goes a little sideways. Why do you not want America to be a great country? I do, Dave. It's just you have perverted the word great. You think great means no people of color. And I think great means highly educated, more healthy than the rest of the world, guarantee basic fucking rights like housing, food. Just look up FDR's Economic Bill of Rights. I believe in that. Do you know who FDR is? I mean, Jesus Christ, I can't do this with stupid dum-dums. I don't know what else to call you guys. You're just dum-dums. You go, why don't you want America to be great? While you cheer on the dismantling of the Department of Education. What is great about stupidity? I know you think you're great. I know Donald Trump has proven that stupid fails upward in a stupid country, but that's not greatness. Do you think the rest of the world or fucking everyday people, like when you open your mouth and are dumb, do you think they're like, wow, I really like this guy? Do you know why we had to create the word incel for young men? Because they're so fucking uneducated and anti-intellectualist that they think they should just be able to mate with anything and have no fucking personality or brains. And that's the wrong fucking output, man. You can do a little work on yourself. I do every day. You should too. My Christ, we got to do it here together. Keep coming back. I'll teach you what great means. Because obviously the definition of lost on you when you dropped out of school in 8th grade with Tim Pool. You know, you got to understand what the language means to use it correctly. Great doesn't mean having a domestic army tyrannically fucking violating your fucking constitutional rights. Sorry. And don't talk to me about illegal shit because Donald Trump is breaking more laws than any of us ever could. You know, it's just nobody's standing in his way. That's why I'm here. Hit subscribe and notification bell. I'll never shut the fuck up about this dude and call me TDS or whatever. You have EDS, Epstein dysfunctional syndrome or whatever the fuck it is. It's so dumb. You know, like that shit just shows the peak stupidity of these people. That they have to glom onto one thing, can't address any of the points that I'm talking about, can't actually address why America sucks, and just need to say stuff like TDS, Trump 2028. It's pathetic, and you guys are fucking herbs. I'm bringing that back. Back in the 90s, we would call people herbs. So I'm trying to get that started again. It's probably not going to work. It's okay. What are these women from like Oklahoma? These women, these Charlie Clan women from Oklahoma. I don't understand. You have the name Royal Tannenbaum. Just know that everybody who created that movie despises you. It's so sad. I love when they like reference pop culture and not understand that, like, you know, the people that created that like despise you. Despise you. If they could take their fucking art from you, they probably would. Oh God. Dave, here's the thing, buddy. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. You don't understand America because you're doing the typical, oh, make America great. Oh, if you don't like it, leave. America isn't fucking what it was when it was founded. And this is where it's like, just read a little history. Read about women's suffrage. Okay, there you go. Or the civil rights. That's more recent. Or Stonewall. Just read about fucking Dave. Just read. God damn, these people are so dumb. Because people in America, the people in America forced changes. When oppressive regimes came to power or the laws didn't suit the people they were supposed to represent, the people stood the fuck up. That's how America works. That's why speech is in the First Amendment. I'm sorry. Are you that stupid? Jesus. See, you should have to take an American test. We need to be teaching the amendments in from kindergarten through. If you can't recite all of the amendments by the time you graduate, you don't get to graduate. That's my new law. That's my new law. If you want to really love America, you should understand your rights. It's the whole fucking concept. But the other thing is like these stupid fake MAGA fake triots, these fake triots, they should have to take a test. Nobody of color. These white Christian nationalist popsicle stick proud boys should have to take a test to fucking answer. What's the Fourth Amendment? Dave, don't look it up. What's the Fourth Amendment? Come on. My Christ. Oh, my buddy's texting me. I gotta go. Revolution Now. Go watch Democracy Now. Oh, shut the fuck up. America wasn't founded as a Christian nation. Stop listening to Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool. Just shut up. It wasn't. Freedom of religion doesn't mean Christian. God damn, these people are so stupid. God. You should have to take a test, and then we kick you out to Argentina. Sorry, Argentina. That's where the Nazis went. We're sending them there again. Zen, listen. They're rigging the election right now. This is, we'll talk about it later. But he's talked about taking ballot boxes. He's talked about, just listen. When he says shit about the election, it's not a joke, and the mainstream media takes it as a joke, and it's just not. Okay. No, the Christian nationalists should have to take the immigrant test, because not even an immigrant test. You should have to take a constitutional amendment test. That's what you guys should have to take, because if you're supporting ICE kicking in your door, waving the 4-4, all they say is "Papa, don't hit me no more," then you don't know your constitutional rights, and we don't have America after that. So everything he accused the left of, he is doing. Yes, 100%. His accusations are admissions. I would barely pass the immigration test. See, this is what I mean, Dusty. That's no reflection of yourself. It's the education system. This is why it's so ridiculous to me. I mean, my kids come home and ask me all the time. They go, they're teaching this. And I'm like, well, that's completely fucking whack. And I'll take some time and I'll, here's, if you have children, Howard Zinn's the history, the People's History of the United States of America is an amazing book, but they did it in a graphic novel form. And that's what I bought for my kids. And I said, you want to know the real history? Here you go. Read up. You need to be educated. Because as soon as you don't understand your rights, you don't know where to stand your ground. And that's all that MAGA says. They go, I don't know my rights. Okay. It just won't happen to me because of my skin color, And they're fucking morons. Fucking morons. A bunch of dummies walking around. They're the people George Carlin said they're not too stupid to run the machines, but too stupid to understand what's going on. A loose quote. But watch George Carlin, and he'll explain what MAGA is, They're just button pushers, obedient button pushers, and that's all they're good for. And Donald Trump grifted them all into thinking he was a Republican. Donald Trump is a fucking Democrat from New York, a rich coastal elite from New York. And he was like, we're going to drain the swamp. I'm like, bro, he is the swamp. It's a big club. We ain't in it. There we go, Tim. You know. Hey, any Carlinite should be hitting that subscribe button. We live and die by that. My mother raised me on Carlin. And that's also another educational tactic that I use with my children. Before they graduate, they need to listen to most of his discography. You got to give your kids an alternate education, especially now that they've eradicated the Department of Education. It's a sad thing. Hey, Rob, do you know what people you descend from, like what countries? Yes, very specifically. I know much about my lineage. My cousin is John Brown. Look him up. He is in my family tree, blood relative. Very proud of that. The only one I don't know, my mother was an orphan, and don't know much about my paternal grandfather. But the rest, very well versed. George Carlin fought for the First Amendment harder than any of these Republican comics. 100%. 100%. And Carlin was arrested for saying words. Words. So remember that next time you soften your words and start saying, let's go, Brandon. Just know there were real Americans like Carlin who was getting arrested for saying fuck. Oh, God, these pathetic weasels. Little shit weasels. Okay, guys. Oh, what's up? Cage. Cage is here. Didn't see you. Go check out Harper's Ferry. My brother was just there. I have a memento from Harper's Ferry. A very precious one. I won't go into. I just won't go into. But yes, love Harper's Ferry. God saved him at that point. You know, they were overrun by the cavalry, and one dude took out his bayonet from his gun and tried to stab my cousin, and it just missed and hit his like belt buckle. It's God intervening. So like Henry David, or was it Thoreau or Emerson? One of them. I think it was Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau said of my cousin John Brown, he will make the gallows as glorious as the cross. Meaning that in his fight in the abolitionist movement, when they hung John Brown, he would become a martyr for the cause, which then the Civil War sparked, and yada, 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 yada. We don't have time to go into all the history. But you should know your history. Know where you come from. Maybe you, MAGA, come from a long line of bootlickers, you know, and you're just falling in line. You're just doing what your DNA says. Maybe that's it, you know. Is it nature or nurture? Well, we all know. Okay, guys. It's very good to see everybody. It really is. It was cool to do this early. Let's go again, because this was just like this. I was just fucking around right now. Charlie Kelly's here. John Brown biography by W.B. No, you want to know the... Hold on, Charlie. Please don't leave. Stay here. Put the paint can down. Tune out the rats. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll show you the book that I love. And it's very... There's another book that I can't get my hands on because no bookstores have it. Buy your shit from eBay. But let me show you this one. This is a chunker, okay? This is a chunker. But if you want to know the thorough, in-depth... Okay, there we go. If you want to know the thorough, in-depth life of John Brown from somebody, David S. Reynolds, who took an interesting take on it. He was not, you know, he really just tried to show you his life. And I mean, this is his life. This is a big fucking... This took me a long time to go through. This is the book you want to get, okay? From Life to Death. The last few chapters I had to read over and over again because it was so compelling, but this is a great one. This is a great one. Beloved book. It's one of my favorites. Does the camera settings, does it make it all backwards? I'm sorry. This is John Brown, abolitionist, David S. Reynolds, okay? Okay. And guys, the other thing, did you guys see this? The Netflix Tarot Sesame Street? People were freaking out. I think it's cool. You know, I hate that Sesame Street is going privatized. That really sucks. But no more socialist Sesame Street.
Oh, okay. I didn't even get to read a lot of news. I had some stuff going on, but we had to deal with some things. You know what I mean?
But I'm glad I got to see everybody this morning. It was fun. We're going to go, socialism saved us. Yeah, especially if your house is on fire. It's just weird that the military, Donald Trump wants to use our socialist U.S. military funded by taxpayers, redistributing the wealth to the military, just so you know. He wants to use that socialist military against its own people while they cheer against socialism because, you know, dodos. Dodos. Isn't that cool, Dusty? I want to show that to you. I thought it was rad art. How can you get mad at art? I don't understand that. I just don't understand people that get mad at art. You know, it's weird. Anyways, Charlie Kelly, he's still here. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. All right, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll go live later. 2-ish, 30. I said 2:15 early. 2:30-ish. 2. I'll try to go live at 2. I'm going to do my best for Gma, okay? I got to go get some stuff done and make a few calls. I started learning when I got out of the stupid government school system. Why do you think the government school system is stupid? It's underfunded. Have you ever seen the police put up Amazon fucking wish lists? No. That's by choice. That's by choice. The government's supposed to represent you. So if you're calling it stupid, that means your choices, your organization, your community power is lacking. Remember that. I've never seen the police put up an Amazon wish list for fucking bulletproof armor cars, anything. The police don't have to do that. Why are our school teachers, why are our schools doing that? They should be well funded. They should be amped up. And if you don't believe school systems can be good, just look up Massachusetts. Okay? I just found you. Glad I did. Generally correct. I love that name. I love the fucking puns and stuff. I really do. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, my recommendation, Frederick Douglass autobiography. I think I have that over there too. By who? Oh, no. You know what I have? I have a collection of Frederick Douglass speeches. That's what I have. It's not the autobiography. So yeah, I'll look into that. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. I put a new link for the Discord. We have a book club in there. Book club, book recommendations. So join the Discord, leave all the recommendations. I love getting new books. I have a pile next to my bed that I'm trying to go through. A fucking pile. That's my problem, is because of the ADD, I start reading like 3 books at a time, and I just read them in different locations. So I know when I'm at home, I read this book. When I'm there, I read this book. When I'm at bed, I read this book. That's psychotic. Something's wrong with me. I think we should be having cops live inside the communities they police. I think that's a big reason cops are so corrupt. 100%. And they should be on a shoestring budget. You know what I mean? I want to see cops putting up Amazon wish lists. You know, maybe they stop shooting so many people if they knew they only had 6 bullets. Right? When they feel like they have infinite fucking power, they don't care, especially with their immunity. But that's a good point, Jen. I would just say, if they felt like they were on a shoestring budget and they were against their own community and they were going up to protect and serve. I've never seen that happen. But if they were protecting and serving the community they lived in, and more importantly, the children, like I say, or the young heads, because anyone younger than me is a fucking child. But if the young heads were educated like I talk about, right? If they knew if they had to, in order to graduate high school, they had to memorize all the constitutional amendments. Then when they came into contact with the police, they could start, reiterating what they've learned. They could know where to stand their ground. They could know their rights. Just think of any lawyer interaction with a cop. When a cop pulls a lawyer over and he's like, I know my rights. You want to see my bar card? If we taught our children that shit, we wouldn't have any of this. Especially if the cops were on a shoestring budget. If they had to think twice. They were like, well, I only got 6 in the chamber and I can't get any till next month. And that Amazon wish list comes through. They're not going to be so fucking wild and free. Okay? I don't know. I'm just a guy on YouTube. It helps, but doesn't completely fix it. Dusty says they do live in the community in Chicago. And I would think it 100% does help. If you have roots in the community, it's going to change your perception. You're not going to be as cold and heartless. But like Dusty says, it's not the fix. It's a multi-pronged approach that we, the people, remember, the laws are made by people we're sending to make the laws, even though that's not how it works. Corporations have bought the politicians. They pull the marionette strings, they pay for it, and they write the laws, and the politicians just sign them. So we need to get Citizens United out of here. I'm sorry to go on such a long tirade. But overall, in general, we should be pushing for this. For example, in a country with Harvard and Alabama type education, it means Harvard kids do whatever the heck they want in the same money scarcity. Well, Harvard has really become a shell, a husk of what it is. It's more like Jared Kushner went there and his corrupt fucking criminal father like purchased a wing. You know what I mean? Like, this is why we need to redistribute the wealth from billionaires, because they have too much money. They just pay for their kids to get in, even though their kids are moron. And these people fall upwards. And I only say that because I was a subcontractor for Harvard professors, and they would say this shit to me. Like, this wasn't me coming up with it. This was like many years ago when I worked for these Harvodians, or whatever you want to call them. They were like, we are the ticket to the fucking elite. That's what this one guy said. He said, you go to my school, it's a ticket to the fucking elite. And he explained that most of these people are dummies. Their parents were just so rich that they could donate. Look at Harvard's, whatever it's called, like their allotment of money. I forget what it's called. But it's like they have billions of dollars because people just donate shit to them and their kids get in. It's sad, but we can fix this shit. All the prongs, get the metaphorical pitchfork, get the metaphorical pitchforks. Yes. Yes. All right, guys, I gotta go. Much love, much respect. Thank you guys for chatting with me. I was watching Carlin in the 60s, best political comedian of my generation, of Kelly Green, of all our generations. Is there a better comedian, philosopher, political commentarists than Carl? I don't think there is or will be, especially in this era of slow polio Rogan. Networking as well. It doesn't even matter, but you know what I mean. It's ridiculous. Yeah, networking is an important thing. That's what I try to encourage people to do. Organize, organize, organize. Know your communities, you know. You get out. Get a feelers out there. Say hi to your neighbors. I know all my neighbors wherever I move. I know too many people. I just talk to everybody. People like to open up to me. But I love it. It's a beautiful thing, you know. Frank Zappa. All right. But he, musician-wise, Frank Zappa, Rage, Lenny Bruce, all right. Yeah, but Lenny Bruce was not as prolific as Carlin, you know, and his stuff is harder to access in this viral age. And he's older, so people don't really give him the recognition. But I agree. Stay hydrated, and great life advice. Stay hydrated. In a world where you have to, stay hydrated. Thank you, Zen Ali. Because you know what? Donald Trump failed at selling humans water, and that's fucking hilarious. Much love, Jose. Appreciate you. Stay strong in these times, dark times. Stay hopeful. Just how you want. Be your own character, and your neighbors will know you on glance. That's right. That's right. All right, guys. I send you love. Hopefully you guys hit the notification bells when I go live later. You can join me. Power to you and your generation. Well, it's good. Let me say this. It's good to see an old head, if I may call you that, with all the respect that it gives. I just call people old heads or young heads. We need more of you guys speaking out. So it's good. I love seeing it, because I always wonder that. I go, where are the hippies and the yippies, man? Where's that Generation X? Where's, you know, like, I'm always wondering, because they were so powerful. Not the boomers, but, you know, the people that were in the counterculture of the boomers, the people that were leading into the Generation X, the people that formed that misfit fucking ragtag bunch of, you know, organizers, and doing it without, you know, with payphones and fanzines. I'm like, that was such a powerful movement. You know, you guys knew boots on the ground. You guys knew what it was to shake hands and have to connect. And I feel like, you know, they're not doing the Woodstock generation. Yeah, man. I always think about that, because I had such admiration, you know, for that. I was like, that's so fucking cool. Generally correct. There's no comedian that can do what he did while making it funny, while speaking on very, very, 100%. They died or exhausted, sick, got isolated. And some of them became yuppies. Let's not forget. What's his name? Who is Abby Hoffman's like co-partner in the yippie movement, became a capitalist yuppie. You know, so some of them just bought into the system because, you know, if you were white at the time, you could get really rich because of all the laws keeping other people back, women, minorities, anything, you know, so they were just like, fuck everybody else, which, you know, wasn't the spirit of the movement. I'm marching in Washington for equal rights. See, Kelly Green, please hit subscribe and the notification bell. You are an important voice. You lived and saw this stuff. And that's really what I'm talking about with these older generations. The people that witnessed it firsthand. It's so vital to hear your testimony. Appreciate you. Bill Hicks. Oh, yeah, okay. Charlie Kelly comes in and fucking knocks it down. Strike? Holy shit. I forgot about Bill Hicks. I'm sorry. Bill Burr can hit similar strides as Carter. Listen, Bill Burr, Canton's own. I think we should erect a statue for him. Yes, I just think he's gotten too complacent. And the thing with Bill Burr that really, because I've been watching Bill Burr before most people knew about him. And Bill was tackling things with the correct paradigm. But when he started to do the free Luigi shit and the billionaire shit was the same time he was getting really comfortable. You know, and this is just another mass hole. You got to understand, us people from Massachusetts, we can sniff each other out. Okay, you don't believe me? Go watch Bill Burr on Joe Rogan, where Bill's like, "I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you smoking a cigar, sitting in front of a American flag, trying to give me scientist advice." Like, shut your fucking mouth. That was Bill Burr being polite to Joe Rogan to give him the respect that Joe desperately needs. But us massholes can, you know, we have a sixth sense, a sixth massholian sense. And the thing is like Bill Burr, as soon as he started to like chirp on that billionaire bandwagon, he was also starting to get really, really comfortable. So it was just, you know, Saudi money. I don't know what else to say. I do love Bill Burr. I respect him. He's obviously a legend, but George Carlin didn't compromise. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, it hurts. It hurts because he's a lovable dude. He's charismatic. He's lovable. He's a hothead. He's from here. You know, we treasure him. I like Ricky Gervais, but he isn't that critical or funny. Yeah. I like Ricky Gervais's writing in TV shows. If you've never seen, oh, what's it called? He has a Netflix show where he writes about losing his wife. And it's so it's a show about grief, and it's so powerful and funny. If you've never seen it, check Afterlife. Thank you. Afterlife. That's 100% it. Afterlife. That show, if you've ever experienced grief, I've lost a lot of people in my life, and that show, it was hard to watch, but it was amazing. And the fact that that was bewildering to me. You know, I was like, you can't write that without knowing it. It's just not something you can make up. Okay, shit. Oh my God, I have to go. God, you guys are creepy. Okay, I have to go. And subscribe. I love you guys, but I have to go. You're taking up my day. I have to get some stuff done. Peace.